You're watching TCTV News, your only source for news and entertainment on campus.
Good evening, I'm Colin Vitale.
And I'm Marcus Dash, and welcome to this edition of TCTV News.
Let's go over to our TCTV News reporter, Natasha Brenneman, to see how this weekend's award banquet went.
Where 7 Teal alumni are going to be honored tonight.
Should be taking in part in honoring the truly remarkable success.
Reinhardt, class of 1961, with the Distinguished Alumni Award, along with Dr. Michael Lanicotti of class of 1978 with the Distinguished Alum Award. Dr. John Martin, class of 1973, is also getting the same award.
So much. This means an awful lot.
Dr. James Bloomfield will be recognized for his service to Teal. We have two winners of the Young Alumni Award, Branning Street, class of 2006, and Grant Alexis, class of 2005, will both be honored tonight. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you. This is Natasha Brenneman reporting for TCTV.
According to police, a man walked in and opened fire at a Hmong New Year's celebration in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Saturday night, injuring 5 people. Authorities don't know what caused the man to begin shooting inside the Green Country Event Center. A police helicopter happened to be flying by, saw a vehicle leaving the area. When officers pursued the car, they saw a passenger changing clothes, then throwing his hoodie and a gun from the car. Police have arrested the passenger, 19-year-old Ming Mi. 2 attendees were hit in the upper body, while the other 3 were struck in the arm and leg. Officials said that one of the individuals will probably lose his lower leg.
An American arrested after a car bombing in northern Sinai in August was found dead in an Egyptian police station Sunday. Authorities said the man, identified as James Lund by a U.S. State Department official, was discovered hanging by his shoelaces and a belt from a bathroom door in a waiting area of the AWOL police station in Ismailia, Egypt. An investigation has been ordered to determine if the death was a suicide. Lund was taken into custody on August 27th after a car bomb exploded in a police station in northern Sinai. According to a statement from Egypt's Interior Ministry, his death came on the same day that his detention was extended for another 30 days.
Syrians began destroying their country's chemical weapons program Sunday, according to an international team tasked with overseeing the effort. Syrian personnel are using cutting torches and ankle grinders to destroy or disable a range of items. This included missile warheads, aerial bombs, and mixing and filling equipment. The OPCW team arrived in Damascus on Tuesday and are monitoring, verifying, and reporting on Syria's compliance with international demands to destroy chemical weapons, stockpiles, and production facilities.
The body of 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found January 11th in southern Georgia. Lowndes County Sheriff's Oh. God, is there like a punctuation that's in there? Because I just ran all the way through that bad boy. In southern Georgia. Alright, that's my bad. The body of a 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found January 11th in South Georgia. Lowndes County Sheriff's investigators concluded that he died in a freak accident, falling headfirst into an upright mat and becoming trapped. However, Johnson's family believes he was killed and has been pressuring authorities to take action looking at the case. The teenager's family announced Thursday that the Florida lawyer who helped push for a criminal prosecution in the shooting of Trayvon Martin has joined efforts to reopen an investigation into Johnson's death. His parents also revealed that when Johnson's body was exhumed over the summer for a second autopsy, the private pathologist discovered his organs were missing and newspaper had been used to fill the body cavity.
Health officials have identified about 140 infants who may have been exposed to tuberculosis this summer at a hospital in Nevada. A young mother who gave birth to premature twins had the bacterial infection, according to the Southern Nevada Health District. The woman died, as did both her babies, at least one of them from tuberculosis. Southern Nevada Health District officials believe the mothers contracted tuberculosis from eating unpasteurized dairy products from Mexico. Although the health district's chief health officer, Dr. Joseph Iser, said there is no proof of this, the mother could have exposed at least one of the infants to tuberculosis while in the neonatal intensive care unit at Summerlin Hospital. But Iser and his colleagues believe it is more likely the infection was transmitted at or around the time of birth. You know, they say what happens in Nevada stays in Nevada.
God, let's hope so for their sake, then. Another year, another small raise for millions of people who rely on Social Security, veterans benefits, and federal pensions. According to an analysis by the Associated Press, preliminary figures suggest next year's benefit increase will be roughly 1.5%. The increase will be small because consumer prices, as measured by the government, haven't gone up much in the past year. For the second year in a row, it would be one of the lowest raises since automatic adjustments were adopted in 1975. The exact size of the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, won't be known until the Labor Department releases the inflation report for September. This was supposed to happen Wednesday, but the report was delayed indefinitely because of the partial government shutdown. More than a fifth of the country is eagerly awaiting the results.
A 7.2 earthquake struck in the southeastern Philippines on Tuesday. The U.S. Geological Survey said the epicenter of the quake was 391 miles southeast of Manila near Balahan, and its depth was 35 miles. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said there was no widespread threat of a tsunami, but it warned that earthquakes this large can sometimes cause tsunami within 61 miles of the epicenter. Balahan is the province of Bohol.
During a demonstration for AP students at Chapel Hill High School, an accident occurred and a student's arm caught on fire. A nearby teacher pushed the student to the ground and tried to put the fire out, but was unsuccessful. Will Wheeler, son of Douglas County Sheriff's Office Major Tommy Wheeler, grabbed a fire blanket from the chemistry lab and was able to extinguish the fire quickly. The student said he remembers hearing a bang and seeing her hit the ground on fire. He froze up, then ran to the other room to get a fire blanket, and then threw it on her, and that's all he remembered. Wheeler said he just reacted. He said a lot of credit goes to the teacher who was trying to put out the flames with her hands.
The government shutdown has affected many things across the state. Let's see how students are being affected by it with TCTV reporter Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley, TCTV's field reporter, and I'm here to listen to students' opinion about government shutdown. Well, dear student, Cassie is here to discuss about government shutdown. First, how do you think about government shutdown these days?
Well, I think it is arrogant and selfish, and they showed the division between the two political parties, and they don't care about the public.
Well, how do you think about government shutdown these days?
I think they need to hurry up and turn it back on.
Think a lot about food. I'm concerned about food sanitation, food safety inspection, and how that affects, the population.
Well, how did it affect you?
It scares me that our government is currently not up and running because our military is inactive, and our student loans are affected, our house loans are affected, and it's never happened in our lifetime. So it's scary to think that this is our future, and this is a crisis that we don't know how to handle.
Sometimes you have to wonder, who are the people that are really, leading. So I can't think of one solution.
Have you ever thought about the solutions to alleviate this situation?
I think that deals a lot with your political standing, and we have such a split in our political parties, Republican and Democrat, that if we had some sort of Congress that's supposed to mediate, then things would be okay. But if our Congress can't make decisions, then obviously neither can the two political parties.
And this is Ashley discussing the government shutdown. Back to the desk.
Now let's see what's happening in the entertainment world with Trent and Jennifer.
Thanks, Colin. This is Entertainment News. I'm Jennifer Kaler.
And I'm Trent Kiesling. Do you know of any good TV shows this season? TCTV reporter Jason Crystal has asked some students what TV shows they're watching.
Jason Crystal here with TCTV. I'm out here asking faculty and students about their favorite TV shows and why they like them. Let's see what they have to say. All right, here we are today with Hannah Stoneman, sophomore at Teal College. Hey, how are you today?
Good.
All right, that's good. Do you like watching TV?
Yeah, I watch Netflix a lot.
And what's your favorite show on Netflix?
Prison Break.
Prison Break? That's a great show. Why do you like that show?
It's really intense.
All right, thank you. Have a great day. All right, here we are with Chad Parker Jr. here at Teal College. How you doing today, Chad?
Doing very good. How you doing, Mr. President?
Fantastic, thank you. Do you have any favorite TV shows at all?
Yeah, I had a show. It was called Breaking Bad. I'm very sad and dismayed that it has been ended. Very out of the blue. Other than that, no TV shows. Just get in the books, get good grades, and get out of school.
No, I understand completely. Yeah, Breaking Bad, that was a great show. I watched an episode or two, but why'd you like this show so much?
Well, it portrayed, this guy, Heisenberg, who was a teacher and a chemist, and he just found ways to make money for his family. It was good. I just enjoyed it.
That does sound enjoyable, Chad. Well, thank you for your input, and have a great day. Hi, here we are with Blake Heim, a sophomore here at Teal College. How are you doing today, Blake?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic now that I'm with you. Thank you. What do you have to say is your favorite TV show?
Ooh, that's a hard choice. I'd have to say either Sex and the City or Girl Code.
Girl Code and Sex and the City, those are two great shows. Why do you like these shows?
I don't know. Pretty cool.
Just entertaining?
Yeah.
I understand completely. But thank you for your input today. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too.
All right. Now that we learned all about Teal College's students and what they like watching on TV, this is Jason Crystal, and back to you guys at the studio.
Are you a fan of trying to be a stealth assassin? Do you also like swashbuckling pirates and want to be an undercover first mate? Well then, the video game that you need to check out this fall is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The game is set in the early 1700s when England controlled the Caribbean islands and many pirates roamed the waters in the area. The game is focused on a completely new assassin character that did not exist in the previous Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is set to be released on Tuesday, October 29th, so go reserve a copy before they run out. The premiere of American Horror Story, Coven, has the highest television ratings of the previous episodes ever before on American Horror Story. The premiere itself and the encore, which aired right after the premiere, managed to rack up a total of 7.8 million total viewers and 5.36 million adults from the ages of 18 to 29. This season contains many things in store for fans who especially enjoy the witches from Salem and the witches from New Orleans that practice voodoo. The show airs every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on FX, so make sure you stay tuned for some interesting twists this season. Wow, I cannot believe that this is the highest rating they have on all seasons. I think it's phenomenal.
I think that Christmas is going to be pretty good for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The brand new Carrie movie is set to be released this weekend in movie theaters, and it looks like it's a perfect movie to get everyone in the mood for Halloween. So let's take a look at one of the trailers now.
Mama, if I concentrate hard enough, I can make things move. Carrie, do you understand?
The movie is based on a Stephen King novel, and there was also a Carrie movie that was released in 1976 as well. The movie is being released just in time for Halloween and fall break, so this could be the movie to see while you're home over the weekend.
People out there like me who can do what I can do. If you are planning some kind of joke on a poor, lonely girl, there will be a judgment, Carrie.
Carrie, rated R. Trent, do you plan on seeing this movie over the weekend?
Absolutely. I've actually read the book too, so I'm pretty excited to see it.
Not to me. I like Halloween, but I certainly do not like Horror Story.
It looks pretty scary.
It does. The Dead are back, and they are walking once again. The new season of AMC's hit series, The Walking Dead, has returned now for its fourth season. The show returns as the #1 scripted show on television. The Walking Dead has a great way of creating end-of-the-season cliffhangers to keep people watching. This is definitely quite the show to watch this time of year if you love Halloween and you love zombies. The show is on Sundays at 9 on AMC. Trent, is that one of your shows, The Walking Dead? I know it's pretty famous.
Absolutely. A couple of my friends here got me started on that show, and I can't stop watching it.
I think that is for most people. I've never seen it. But like again, I said, I'm not for scary stuff.
Yeah.
If you are looking for something fun to do at Teal after fall break, then you are in luck. Teal is going to be taking students on the trip to Cedar Point the first weekend students are back on campus. And the trip is free for all students. This is the first trip that Teal is taking to Cedar Point in at least 4 years, so this is a new experience for basically all of the students on campus. Cedar Point should be in its annual Halloween theme for the year as well. If you love roller coasters, Cedar Point is definitely the amusement park to experience. Sign up today at the TAB office. Gravity is the movie that just cannot seem to fall from its #1 spot at the box offices. Gravity reaches the top spot at the box office for the second weekend in a row this past weekend by earning $44.3 million and earning a domestic total of $123.4 million. The movie also earned $28 million internationally, which excludes the United States and Canada from that profit. Gravity seems like it is going to keep soaring into space with all the great reviews it has been getting from all its audiences.
For all you horror film fans out there, your time on television has arrived for the year. The annual AMC Fear Fest will return this week, running until Halloween. AMC will show horror movies, thrillers, and anything they consider scary all day and night when it does not interfere with other programming. You can connect with AMC on Twitter during all of these shows that are included in the Fear Fest by hashtagging FearFest at the end of your tweet. Go carve your jack-o'-lanterns and be prepared to watch some scary movies this year on AMC. I know you're not a fan of scary movies. I'm telling you, they probably have a great lineup for all these movies. I can definitely tell you that AMC does not, it's definitely a good show.
And now throwing social media in there, just like with everything else, it seems to be that.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody connecting in.
Yep.
Definitely.
Teal was victorious this past weekend for their homecoming game. Next, stay tuned for sports to get all of the details.
Thank you, guys. Welcome to sports. I'm Anna Kovenchek.
And I'm Amy Mallinger. Let's go over to our TCTV reporter, Paul, for this weekend's homecoming game wrap-up.
Hey guys, Paul Connolly over here reporting for sports. This past Saturday, the Tomcats defeated the St. Vincent Bearcats 30-3 in what just turned out to be an excellent win in the PAC. Paul Connolly here with Coach Gilchrist and freshman quarterback Ryan Radke. Coach Gilchrist, how did you guys feel coming into Saturday's game against St. Vincent?
We're confident. We usually come into the games confident, but we knew that we had to play well and that we had the potential to play well and that it was a game that we knew we needed to have.
Now, Ryan, you were 6 for 9 on Saturday for 50 yards, throwing a touchdown. What did you do to prepare for St. Vincent to play such a good game?
For St. Vincent, we just worked hard. Every play in practice, went 100% and gave it all. Practice like you play. That's all I do.
Paul Connolly here with Coach Reiser, head coach of the Tomcats. Now, Coach, you guys played an excellent game against St. Vincent on Saturday, first win in the pack. What did you guys do to prepare for the game?
Well, we spent last week focusing on running the football well. We saw some holes in their defense that we could take advantage of offensively, and I thought Josh Potter and Josh Wanamaker ran extremely well on Saturday. I thought our O-line played well, and I thought Ryan Radke from a quarterback position really handled himself well. Was able to get some rushing yards for us as well, and did a nice job with that.
That's all we got from Alumni Stadium. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Paul. According to Sioux Falls Police, Adrian Peterson's 2-year-old son, who had been in critical condition after being beaten, has died from his injuries. Peterson was in Sioux Falls on Thursday, visiting the boy who police said had been allegedly beaten several times by the mother's boyfriend. The child that Peterson was seen with this fall at training camp is not the 2-year-old who has died. WCCO has learned that Peterson discovered that the victim was his son just a few months ago. It's not now if he'd met the boy before.
Minnesota Vikings star Adrian Peterson said he never considered sitting out Sunday's game against the Carolina Panthers, even after his 2-year-old son passed away Friday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. According to the police, he was the victim of abuse by a man who was dating the boy's mother. This was supposed to be Peterson's therapy, and perhaps it was, even after an embarrassing 35-10 loss to Carolina ended his trying week under a hail of boos at the Metrodome and left the Vikings at 1-4.
Less than 3 weeks ago, it was unclear if Johnny Peralta would be with the Tigers in the postseason. In early August, he and 12 other players were suspended 50 games for their links to biogenesis, which effectively cost them the best of the season. Because of some scheduling weirdness, Peralta was allegedly to be activated from his suspension for the final 3 games of the regular season, plus the postseason. With the return of Peralta, has been showing an MVP mentality and has carried Detroit throughout the playoffs.
The Southeastern Conference set a record for most schools in the Associated Press college football poll, with 8 teams ranked. The top 25 was shaken Sunday after 7 ranked teams lost, including 5 teams that were unranked or lower ranked. Stanford dropped 8 spots and Michigan fell from the poll completely. The top four were unchanged, with number 1 Alabama receiving 55 of 60 first-place votes. Number 2 is Oregon, followed by Clemson and Ohio State. Florida State moved up to number 5 to set up a top 5 matchup at Clemson next week.
The Pittsburgh Steelers were tired of seeing that dreaded 0 in the win column. Now they've got one. They think it could be only the beginning. Ben Roethlisberger threw a 55-yard touchdown pass to Emmanuel Sanders. Sean Susham kicked 4 field goals, and the Steelers won their first game by beating the New York Jets 19-6 on Sunday.
Lose the no-hitter, win the game. That's a trade Anibal Sanchez and the Detroit Tigers were happy to make to take the lead over the Boston Red Sox in the American League Championship Series. Sanchez and 4 relievers came within 2 outs of the first combined no-hitter in postseason history, striking out 17 to beat Boston 1-0 in the series opener on Saturday night.
This is what makes October the awesome month that it is. Logic is irrelevant, numbers don't add up. The more you think you understand, the less likely it is to happen. And what does wind up happening often makes no sense. So on that note, it's time to sum up the insanity that has taken us in the first 2 games of the National League Championship Series. The St. Louis Cardinals are hitting 134 after the first 2 games. They've scored in 3 of the 22 innings they've played. Their offense, often referred to as the best lineup in the National League, has been totally dominated by the 2 former Cy Young winners they've faced, and they're winning 2 games to zip.
Being one of the worst teams in the NFL last year, the Kansas City Chiefs have made a remarkable turnaround. With their win on Sunday against the Oakland Raiders, the Chiefs remain undefeated with 6 wins and 0 losses. Kansas City has now solidified their spot as one of the toughest teams in the league and will look to keep the streak going with their game against the Texans next week.
With the losing streak from the start of the season, the Teal Tomcats football team put on the show for all of the fans during the homecoming weekend. With the St. Vincent Bearcats coming to town, the Tomcats dropped the Bearcats 30-3, and the Tomcats will look forward to keeping their winning mentality when they take on Thomas More this Saturday in Greenville.
Stay tuned in after the break. We have Jen Kaler catching up with judge candidate Mark Wallace.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Kaler with Teal College TV. This is a special edition of Teal Talk. I'm sure many of you have seen all of the picket signs and billboards around town with people vying for your attention and their vote and your vote. The local election day is coming up on November 5th. Today we have a guest that is part of those campaigns. I'm sure you've seen his signs, as he has many. We will be speaking with attorney Dan Wallace, who is up for election for judge for Mercer County. Hello, Dan.
Hi, how are you, Jennifer?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for finding time in your busy schedule to come down and talk to us.
You're very welcome.
So now that you have won the primary election and you're soon upon the general election, how are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious, nervous? I'm sure you've got a lot going on.
I would agree that I'm feeling very anxious and very nervous. Running for judge is like running in a marathon. I don't know why they call it a race, because it really is a marathon. And I have the finish line in sight. And I don't know whether I'm going to cross it, the victor, the first, or for the second place. But yes, I've been dealing with butterflies in my stomach for about a month now. There's a lot of time and a lot of money put into a campaign. A county-wide campaign is probably the hardest type of campaign you can run. And I say that because if you run a statewide campaign or a national campaign, you fly in or you bus in and you give your campaign speech and then you're gone. With a county-wide campaign, you really have to learn to know the people, and you have to establish connections, and that means going to events, going to fairs, walking in parades, and you spend a lot of time just trying to get to know people as much as possible. I'm from Greenville originally, and so that's kind of to my detriment because I'm not very well known in the Shenango Valley, and so I've had to overcome that. And I've been working very hard to get down in the Shenango Valley and attend events down there. But to back up to what you said and what you asked, I've put a lot of time and effort into it. I think I've fought the good fight. The finish line is in sight, but yeah, I don't know how it's going to end up on November 5th.
Well, now your opponent, Attorney Vic Heiche, now he is from the Shenango Valley. Is that
He's
correct?
He's actually the president of the city council for Sharon.
So do you see that as one of your biggest challenges as far as the election is concerned?
He has a power base. Naturally, he has a power base. He's been president of city council for, I believe it's 8 years. Now that can be good and bad because he may have made enemies while president, I don't know. But I know that he has a power base down there. And Sharon, as a city, isn't as strong as it used to be. Hermitage is now really where the population center is in Mercer County. So I've been focusing a lot on Hermitage and Sharon, though, because I just don't want to give that up to Vic. So.
Well, as far as Greenville's concerned, I think you've got it covered. Your sign is absolutely in every yard that I pass. We're going to be right back. We're going to finish up a few questions with Mr. Wallace right after this. Welcome back. I'm Jennifer Kaler with a special edition of Teal Talk. We're with Attorney Dan Wallace, who is running for judge for Mercer County. Attorney Wallace, have you always wanted to be a judge? I feel as though, I know that you have been obviously in the career path for a long time as far as attorneys. Can you explain a little bit about that? Actually,
no. I went to West Point, and I thought I'd have a military career, and I'm a combat veteran of Desert Storm. And after I served in combat, I decided that's not what I want to do for a living. The fog of war, I respect anyone who has served in combat. I mean that sincerely. I decided I wanted to become judge my senior year in law school, and that's because I clerked for a judge, and it was in Perry County. Perry County is a court of general jurisdiction, which means the judge I clerked for, he saw all different types of law, family law, criminal law, civil law. You go to a place like Lawrence County, they have different courts. They have family law court, civil, criminal law. Mercer County, on the other hand, is a court of general jurisdiction. And so my senior year, I clerked for Judge Quigley in Perry County. I knew after that experience I wanted to be a judge someday. I moved back to Greenville, which is my hometown, to gain that experience. My father is an attorney, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to practice with him and practice in the public defender's office to gain trial experience over the last 18 years. But it's not always been my dream.
What's your dream, Tom?
Up until my senior year, that's in law school, that's when it became my dream.
So, and you do work part-time in the public defender's office,
I do.
correct? And then have the private offices as well?
Yes, I have a general practice here in Greenville.
Right, okay. What do you think you would like to accomplish the most to change? Say you get it, you become judge of Mercer County. Mm-hmm. What do you think you would like to, or what needs the most help, maybe?
Well, since you're an employee of the courthouse, you know this, that Judge Dobson is the president judge, and he's kind of the one that controls all changes. If I were to become president judge one day, I'd like to change two things. I'd like to change community service and how it's run, because I think that we should have more community service instead of fines and whatnot. I think people would learn a lot and gain a lot of insight from community service. And also I would change the way we treat the mental health aspect of a lot of first-time offenders. I think that recidivists, people that have committed crimes again and again, well, there comes a point in time where you have to draw a line and say, we've given you ample opportunity to straighten up your life. Right. But we don't do that for first-time offenders. I think that we could really focus a lot harder on mental health issues, because I think a lot of people doing drugs, they're actually self-medicating when they have mental health issues. And so if we can capture that and somehow direct them into the proper agency,
it could lessen a lot going on.
Right,
on the county.
lessen the recidivism.
Right.
So.
Well, you obviously know what you're doing. I think you're set up for the job, right? And it's coming up soon, November 5th.
Yes, that's right, November 5th.
November 5th.
I know most Teal students are not from Greenville, but I would ask if you are from Greenville.
A lot are Mercer County. You'd be surprised.
They're not from Mercer County, but I'd ask for your support on November 5th.
Well, thank you for being here, and good luck
Thank
with
you
the
very
election.
much.
Remember, voting day is, like I said, November 5th, and this is a special edition of Teal Talk. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Let's see how this weekend's weather is looking with CJ.
Thanks, Marcus. This is your meteorologist, CJ Thompson, and we're looking at the weather right now. The temperature is 63, so it's not too cold, not too hot. It's right where you like it. The dew point is 60. The humidity is a bit high, so it's a little muggy outside, 90%. The barometer reads 29.86, and the wind is coming from the south at about 12 miles an hour. As you can see here in Meadville, you have 63 degrees, Franklin 61 degrees, you have Pittsburgh at 64, and you have Wheeling at 61. As you can see here, all in our area, we have 60 in the Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, North Carolina area. And down here in Florida, they're getting a little bit of heat right there at 82 degrees. As you can see here on the radar, we have some rain coming from the west side of Cleveland, coming down all the way from Akron to Youngstown. And as you can see here today, we're looking at scattered showers for a Thursday, 58 degrees with a low of 40. Friday, we're looking at pretty much a cloudy day, 58 degrees with a low of 41. The sun's trying to break out on Saturday, but I don't see it peeking out too much. But we still get the high of the week at 59 and a low of 40. Then we go back down to 54 on Sunday, and those clouds rear their ugly heads again, low of 40. Monday, we're also pretty cloudy, but we have the same temperature at 54, and the low today that day is going to be 37. Same goes for Tuesday, but on Wednesday, we have scattered shower, and the temperature drops 9 degrees. And for the low that night, we have 34. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, CJ. So what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I'm going to do a bit of traveling, going to Deep Creek, Maryland. Got to get away from the buzz of Teal for a little bit.
Nice. I have to stay here, unfortunately. I just don't want to bring it back home for the break. Yeah,
Dang shame.
that's not bad. Thanks for watching this edition of TCTV News. I'm Marcus Dash.
And I'm Colin Vitale. Have a great fall break, everyone.